Are we set? All right. I'm calling our planning board meeting for the town of Waterboro this day, May 6th, to order in the form of a Zoom conference. We have the following members of the board present: Kayla Goddard, Edward Zamino.
Close.
I gotta give me a break. Deborah, Lori Anthony, and myself. We have a quorum. We have no minutes to review at this time at this meeting, though Angela, you did see the comment that Dwayne sent regarding the meeting minutes going back to March 6th.
Yep, I did. I believe you guys need a motion and a second and acceptance for that. Am I correct?
Okay, but we don't have those meeting minutes in front of us with this packet. So we will, I just wanted to make sure you had seen that because I believe the comment is already incorporated into the materials that we're going to review tonight anyway.
That's correct.
I think we're in good shape there. That's a technicality. We can correct it when we review minutes later. So having no minutes to review at this time, we will go directly to our new business, which is a presentation concerning Carmine LLC subdivision. And what we will be doing is doing the sketch plan review, and if we determine whether the application is complete. So, who from Carmine LLC is going to make the presentation?
Doug Foglio is here to make that presentation.
All right. Mr. Foglio, welcome to Zoom.
How are you?
Very good, sir. Thank you.
Good, good. So what we're proposing is a 3-lot subdivision. It's up here on Townhouse Road, out of a larger parcel owned by Carmine LLC. The same parcel in which Woody Knoll subdivision was developed earlier this year, end of last year, whenever it was that it was approved. So the plan that you have, if you all have it in front of you, shows the location of Woody Knoll subdivision, which is Leona Drive. There are 6 lots off of that. A 7th one was created on Townhouse. And then the 3-lot subdivision is north of there. And they're shown right above where it says Buxton Road. So all 3 of the lots, it's the same soil type we had before. It's sand and gravel. All 3 lots will use Buxton or Townhouse Road as access. There's no internal infrastructure. Each one, of course, is well and septic. They all meet the minimum lot requirement of 80,000 square feet. So I've asked for a couple of waivers. I'll go to that sheet here. Geologist report, and like I had stated earlier, the soils are consistent up across that entire area where it's sands and gravels. And the other waiver is a central mail delivery. Since it's similar to all the other houses on Townhouse Road, we'd like to have individual mailboxes.
Do you have anything further to share?
If you have any questions, I think it's, it's, like I said, the 3 lots, pretty straightforward. So.
Mr. Feldman, would you care to share with us your review?
Certainly. It's been a while, actually, since this came in front of us, but the applicant is seeking what we're calling an amendment to an previously approved subdivision, which occurred on a larger piece of property originally reviewed as Fomez subdivision, which also parcel is carved out of the larger piece. That's why on the plan set you see the survey of the entire piece of property, and you see the Fomez subdivision on the right-hand side of the plan, large vacant area in the center, and then the 3 lots that are being proposed on the, I'm going to call it the north end of the plan. The amendment that the applicant is now seeking is for a 3-lot subdivision on the north portion of the parcel and not affiliated with the homeowners association for the lots in the Woody Knoll subdivision. The proposed lots all front on Buxton Road, with the rear portion of lots coming just short of having access to Lone Pond. The frontage on the lots will have the required 25-foot undisturbed buffers. None of the lots are encumbered by the FEMA floodplain, which falls just to the east of the rear portion of the lots. There's an access drive easement just south of Lot 3, which serves as access to a lot shown on the plan as now formerly Robert L. Stimpson Jr. and Anna M. Stimpson, book 61-116 and page 234. The applicant has provided 2-foot contours throughout the plan, and all required information has been submitted. The application is the first under the new subdivision ordinance that you had adopted. Under completeness, as noted above, the application could be found complete with the submission from a submission standpoint. So the next steps for this, where it's an amendment to a previously approved plan, would be that you could find this application complete. Since this is an amendment, the planning board could choose to set a date for a site walk if you felt you needed to, and set a date for a public hearing and proceed directly to final approval. The recommendation from this project was at the time, and still would be, to approve the sketch plan with the following condition. The plan be revised to include test pit locations for septic systems and well locations within 100 feet with a 100-foot separation between the septic and the wells. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Golden, thank you very much. Do any members of the planning board have any comments or questions they wish to raise? If you do, please raise your hand and be recognized. Ms. Anthony. Lori? We cannot hear you.
You're on mute, Lori.
Yeah, had the right
There we are.
click. Had the right click. Nope, wrong. So just for my own knowledge or clarification, I reviewed this. I didn't realize that this was going to be an amendment to the other subdivision. I thought this was a separate subdivision, starting from scratch.
So, no, it's not. And we had this discussion with Doug early on in the process, and we talked with the town's attorney as well, with Natalie Burns, about it, just to confirm, because I was the one who was suggesting that it's an amendment to a previously approved plan. And although he's calling it something different, it's being carved out of the original main parcel that Fomez was carved out of as well. So because Fomez only took a portion of that large mother parcel, the next subdivision, even though it's being called something else and located separately from Fomez, it's an amendment because it's coming out of the original mother parcel.
Okay. That being said, are you suggesting this go to final, or do we do the preliminary?
Well, if you do find it complete and you want to have a public hearing, I would suggest it could go straight to final. But that's your call. You can choose to do whatever you would like to do. I'm just suggesting that there's not that there's not a lot of information here, but you've been over this site and this property quite a bit, and the application is complete. So it could go straight to final where it's an amendment to a previously approved plan.
Well, I've been a part of Leona Drive. I didn't look at the north section. That wasn't a part of the original subdivision. I would hesitate to go to final, based on what I see in front of me right now. There is no buildings shown, there's no well locations shown, there are no septic tanks shown, there's no grading shown. My question on the grading would be if culverts are going to be required with inverts, so everything drains properly, which would require a minimum amount of erosion control. Just my thoughts. I don't know what the rest of the board members are thinking at the moment.
But I can address a little bit of that if you'd like.
Certainly.
As far as the culverts go, you're talking about a long townhouse road. We have to submit to MDOT for an entrance permit for each house. And we have to have that in order to obtain our building permit. So I've already got the applications filled out and I'm going to submit them. They'll determine what gets done in terms of driveway culverts and the like. And that all falls under MDOT. So as far as the septic locations are concerned, Ken Gardner's coming out on Monday. We'll have the test pits of them located on the plan. We know that's a requirement. This whole coronavirus delay just kind of delayed that in happening. But that'll be done on Monday. Of course, the wells will be shown at least 100 feet from the proposed septic locations. We've actually gone up and staked the location of each and every residence so we can determine driveway entrances. We've staked the property lines, and so it's all located in the field and it'll all be on the plan. The house locations won't necessarily, but the other pertinent information will be.
Thank you, Doug.
And I'm, number one, before I ask anything, are there any other members of the board that would like to have a comment? Mr. Zama, Edward.
Ed's fine. Is there a landscaping plan that's going to be provided at all?
No. All we have is the note to the bottom left. There's a note that says 25-foot undisturbed green strip along Townhouse Road. Other than the driveway entrance, that'll be undisturbed.
So that's the typical requirement we have as Waterboro of a 25-foot buffer.
Correct.
Correct. As you recall, I don't know if all of you folks were around, but we had that discussion quite a while ago when we started the subdivision process, the new ordinance. It came up that the 25-foot buffer or undisturbed buffer along basically those major roads is a set aside in case the state or the town comes along and wants to widen the road for any purpose. They've already got additional right-of-way vis-a-vis the buffer. That's the purpose of that strip.
And Lee J., this was the same requirement we had on the earlier FOMES subdivision plan as well.
That's correct.
That's where we had some of that discussion, I believe.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, because just looking at the plan, it doesn't show any existing conditions with regard to any of the trees that may be there or any other type of greenery between the lots or between the lots and abutters as well for screening purposes even. So I don't know how you guys have handled that in the past or not, but I just don't see anything on here at all.
If, just as I recall, and Laura, you can, I think you've been here a little bit longer than some of our other colleagues, and Tim, you can chime in. I don't recall that we've asked the site plans to show landscaping or some buffering between lots of a proposed subdivision in the past. I don't recall that, though I may be misunderstanding. Lori?
Not on the subdivision app, site plan, yes.
Okay.
If normally on existing conditions, if there's brush lines and tree lines, they typically will be shown. But as far as any formal landscaping on a subdivision plan, no.
Okay. Ed, did that help?
Yeah, if it's something that you guys aren't concerned with, then that's fine.
It's something we can discuss further, but at this point, I don't believe we have entered into those discussions too much. Laura?
Right. Yeah, it'd just be a shame if the whole place was wooded and they just clear cut the whole area and then there's nothing between the lots where they get any type of screening from each other or to the abutters. So it's something that we can talk about after this application.
Okay. Laura?
This is sketch plan review, correct?
Yes.
So this is very minimal plan that's being presented to move forward. The rest of it, if I'm correct, will be covered when we go to preliminary or final, depending on how we choose to go forward.
Correct.
Lee J, and members of the board, in terms of next steps, is there any reason why we would not find the submission at this point to be complete?
From a pre-application standpoint, you could find it complete. And then it's a matter of, do you want to go to preliminary and a final, or just a final? And then they'll have to revise the plans accordingly to meet the submission information for either a preliminary or a final.
Well, let's do one step at a time. Do we have a motion to find the submission complete? Oh, excuse me, Lauren.
One more teeny weeny little thing, only because it's my profession. In scaling your drawing, you might want to actually check. I'm getting that that's actually 125 inches per foot and not 150. I don't know if it's this graphic scale that's wrong or if it's the viewport in Civil 3D. My new point, if you use the plan again for the next submission, it's hard to scale when the scale is wrong.
Mr. Poco?
What's that?
Did you hear Ms. Anthony's comment regarding the scale?
About it being off?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to look.
Okay.
I just assumed 150.
I mean, that's something that we'll follow up at the next stage.
If they use this plan again, I'd like it corrected.
Right. So, I believe we need a motion to find the submission complete. Do I hear such a motion? Ms. Anthony?
I will make a motion to find this sketch plan application complete.
All right, Ms. Anthony has made the motion. Do we have a second? Kayla, thank you very much, has seconded. Is there any discussion? Board members who are in favor, please wave your hand in front of the screen. That's all in favor is a unanimous vote. The sketch plan is found complete. Next step is to discuss whether we require a site walk on this, and what is the preference of the board. Laura?
I'm okay with the site walk.
Laura? Edward has said he's okay with no site walk.
I was going to suggest I on these three lots right next to the road. No, I wouldn't require a site walk on
Kayla? Kayla?
Same thing. So I don't think there's a need for a site walk.
Debbie? We'll pass on a site walk as a unanimous consensus of the board. I have a question. Have we done any mailings on this to the abutters?
No.
Okay.
At this level, you're not required to, but if you're going to preliminary or final, with a public hearing,
Right.
then the notifications will need to be sent, but at sketch level, that's not required.
Right. I was just, Mr. Lamb.
I have a question that, oh, wait a minute, speakers are going to be turned down.
Darth Vader's talking.
I see.
Process question for Lee J. perhaps, in that, in the directive from the governor about electronic meetings, are we supposed to have a recorded individual
You mean a roll call vote?
vote by name, a roll call vote? Yes.
Well, again, you should, yes. I'm not sure that at the sketch level it really matters all that much, only because even with the sketch approval, under the way the ordinance is written, they're not getting anything in the sense of any approvals. It's only giving them the okay to go ahead, but certainly it can't hurt to.
Let's get used to this, and we will do a voice vote. So for approval of the sketch plan, Kayla, how do you vote?
I agree to move it forward. In favor.
You vote in favor.
Yes.
Edward?
Yay.
Lori?
Yes, in favor.
Deborah?
Yes, in favor.
And I vote in favor. So we have unanimous approval on the appropriate record, and we will demonstrate our willingness to try and comply with these rules. The next step on this then would be to set a date for a public hearing and a final review. Is that correct?
Well, again, I think that's something for you folks to debate as to what level of the process you would prefer to have him go. To preliminary and then on to final, or straight to final. So you'll want to have that discussion to give him some direction.
Kayla?
I'd like to see preliminary. I think there's just not enough right now to go straight to final.
Okay,
That's just my opinion.
that's fine. Lori?
I agree with Kayla.
Edward? That meant?
Yeah, I agree.
Deborah?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so it is the position of the board that we will go to a preliminary plan to be reviewed that will also include letters to have been sent to the abutters
Correct.
and a more detailed layout of the site for our review.
Correct.
Following that, and that next plan will also include the test pit locations for the septic systems and well locations and the details of the site. Is that correct?
That would be correct. That was the direction you gave him. So the next question that you'll want to ask of him at this point is whether or not he's going to be ready to come back in 2 weeks, or if he's going to need additional time to get everything together for that.
Mr. Foglio, consider yourself asked.
The requirement is that I have to have everything submitted 2 weeks prior to the next meeting, right? So that would have to be submitted today. And I can't do that. So, it'll have to be whenever the next meeting is.
So that would be in the first meeting in June, I believe. First Wednesday of June? Yeah. Angela? Okay.
Right.
So the
3rd
first,
of June.
June 3rd?
Yeah.
Okay, so June 3rd, we will schedule the preliminary plan and the review of the abutters letter. At that point, we will make a final decision in terms of whether we require a site walk or not, and go to and schedule a time for a vote to a final. Is that?
The public hearing, are you going to have a public hearing?
I think that somewhat depends on the response to the abutters letters. And so as long as my sense, and I'm going to defer to the board, is that if we get the abutters letters out, of which there are not too many, and we assume that there are no major issues, then we may not require a public hearing, but it is our prerogative to make that decision, Laura.
Just a reminder, we had a change in the abutters notifications. It is now 500 feet from the property line and not 2. I don't know if Doug realizes that. I just wanted to bring it up because that could delay things if he doesn't do the 500 feet instead of the 200 feet.
I have the list based on 500. It's like 50 people.
Thank you, Doug.
Okay. And also just a reminder that we, in the past, where we have scheduled a public hearing and no one takes advantage of that, we, at that same meeting, can move directly on to the final approval. So I think let's get this scheduled for 3rd June for the preliminary plan, and then make decisions at that point, hopefully in fairly quick order. Is that fair?
So notify the abutters that I'm coming in for preliminary, not that there's a public hearing, correct?
You're notifying the abutters of your intention to develop this, that there'll be a, you're not going to be able to notify them of this scheduled public hearing. I'm digging myself in a hole here, so.
I would suggest that the notifications indicate that there be a public hearing if that's how you want to go.
We have held to the public hearing even if nobody comes.
Correct. If no one shows up, then no one speaks for or against the application.
Yeah. So, but we have to go through the preliminary application first before we go to the public hearing and the final approval. Is that correct?
Well, no, you can hold the public hearing the same evening as the preliminary application.
And can we go to a final approval right there?
Sure.
We can go from public hearing, preliminary to final in one session. Is that correct?
That's correct. And it certainly makes it easier if no one speaks for or against the application.
Does anyone on the board disagree with that approach? Let it be so.
And the only other thing, it's more administrative, but Angela knows we have a different format because of the COVID and Zoom meetings that she'll provide Doug for the public hearing notification on that.
Yes.
Great. Is there any other business that we have to take care of with Mr. Foglio and the Carmine subdivision? Hearing none, we're finished. Thank you very much, Mr. Foglio. We're going to move forward to the BH2M Carpenter Ridge Subdivision, and they have updated their sketch plan and have, I believe, also addressed the fire department concerns. Is that correct? And do we have a spokesman here for Carpenter Ridge?
Bill, you're muted.
Take yourself off mute, Bill.
There you go.
That better? Okay. All right, sorry about that. Bill Thompson, BH2M Engineers, here for Carpenter Ridge, being developed by Van Hertel Jr. We have the plan shown. Lots 1, 2, and 3 are the 3 lots that we are moving toward an approval. We were last here March 4th well, not here, but we were at the town hall. Received comments from the town planning board, and we came back with a submission on March 10th, which is the last submission that we prepared, and that went down through 7 items that the planning board had questions on. And we also, on March 10th, submitted letters to the abutters that were referenced on the tax map. So the item 1 on the checklist was the front setback was incorrectly shown. It is now shown as 75 feet. We have reviewed the list of abutters and sent a certified letter to each abutter, which included Philip Johnson, which is way up in the top right corner, opposite side of Route 5. Plan note 1 has been corrected, which didn't have the address for that owner. That's been added. The exhibits with the deeds all indicate the easement, access easement that goes to lots 1 and 3 being granted by the owner of lot 2. And that easement is part of what the fire department reviewed, which I'll get back to in a second. We've also added plan note 11, which states the sprinkler system requirements. And the last one is the turning movement detail on the access that we were granted by MDOT. I did put, the fire chief looked at it and wasn't sure he could make all the turns that we are supporting on the details. So we broke that detail into 2 for the northbound fire truck turning off Route 5, coming onto the easement and either being able to go right into lot 1 or left into lot 3. And the second piece of that detail up in the corner, again, is from southbound traffic, again, being able to come in, make the turn either to lot 1 or lot 3 and stay within the described area for access. So I reached out to the fire chief again with this plan and then with a follow-up phone call and did not hear back. The submission also includes the additional test pit that was needed for lots 2 and 3. And believe that takes it where I have supported what we've submitted and hope to move the project a little further along toward an approval.
Angela, have we heard from the fire chief?
No, we haven't.
Lee J, so that is an open item still? Okay. Lee J, would you care to add your comments on this?
I have not revised my memo since the first time we saw the application, and many of the comments that Mr. Thompson just went over were issues that the board had, and it sounds like he has satisfied all but obtaining an answer from the fire chief.
So we're in a position right now to consider acceptance of the sketch plan with the changes.
That would be correct. And again,
and with the caveat that we still await we still require the fire chief sign off. That's correct. And that is certainly not, at the sketch level, there's not a lot of quote unquote submission information required. So it's a matter of giving the applicant some direction here. And the direction at this point is it's not going to go any further till we get fire chief's comments. Okay. Have we heard any response from any of the abutter mailing that was done?
No, we haven't gotten anything. We just had one email asking, inquiring about what was going on. They may very well be watching tonight. They were referred to the meeting tonight, but they didn't have any ill will or opposition to it based on the email.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
yes.
I might just add, after the last meeting, the neighbors who came to that meeting circled outside in the parking lot, and their major concern was, is this going to be a big condominium project? And I said, no, it's 2 houses. Lots 1 is already under construction. Lot 2 and 3, a single family house on each lot, and they were really happy and they all went home. So I think that was their concern, and I answered the question for them.
Okay. Are there any other comments from the board?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Edward.
Yeah, again, what are we waiting on to hear back from the chief? Is it just concerning the fire truck turning detail?
I submitted that.
Go
I
ahead, Bill.
submitted that with the request. He wanted the, everything widened to 30 feet. The access coming in off Route 5, bigger radiuses, 25-foot radiuses, and a 30-foot wide access once they get out of the right-of-way from Route 5. I sent this off to him with an email and a copy of the plan, and then followed up 2 weeks later with a phone call. I'm not sure what else I can do.
Yeah, that was a while ago now, because I thought that we had received a letter back saying that what's written was working, would be good.
I haven't received anything. No.
I have a March 13th memo from Captain Fraser.
Right, he's our fire inspector.
Okay, to the planning board, and he had several concerns about it. That memo, that it didn't appear to him that the plans showed turning plans for northbound truck making a turn into lot 3, and it would be hard to, which would be hard left-hand turns. It does not show a southbound truck making turns into access lot 1. The computer can barely negotiate those turns on paper. So, in this last paragraph, it reads, if this subdivision requires a single access to all 3 lots, more space will be maintained. That will be maintained free of vegetation, and snow load is necessary for us to have adequate access. The current main entrance appears to be 20 feet wide. Increase the main entrance to a minimum 30 feet wide, and the interior corners shall have a radius like corners intersecting Route 5.
Which is what I've done.
Yeah, and that's the last thing we've heard from them. There's been no additional correspondence from them since the plan revision.
Okay.
The applicant's done everything that was requested by Captain Fraser's letter, then we can assume that we've met the department's needs.
Okay.
But go ahead, Mr. Chairman.
I was going to suggest that we can consider the application complete if the board wishes to do that, but with the condition that we have a formal sign-off from the fire chief before we go to the next, to a preliminary plan stage.
Well, I would allow, if you're so inclined, I mean, I would allow him to submit his preliminary application, and you just wouldn't take action on the application until we get that sign off.
Yeah, that's, is that, Lori?
And please, Jake, correct me if I'm wrong. Tonight we're just reviewing what he submitted.
Correct.
Sketch plan review.
Correct.
Sketch plan.
Yes, correct.
So that we can guide him for either a preliminary or a final.
Correct.
So this does not have to be the full, complete final plan at this time.
No. This
Because
is
I also have a letter dated March 4th of concerned about the name of it. It's very similar to something, and this is from Glenn, that will have to be addressed in preliminary or final. But as far as sketch plan, this seems pretty ready to move forward to preliminary or final design. My opinion, depending on what the board wants.
I don't know what the issue is. I mean, it's been quite a while, so I'm not sure what Glenn's comment regarding the name of the subdivision concern is. Usually there's a concern if there's an internal road and the road name is similar to another road in town because of 911. So I'm not sure what that concern is about.
Okay. So, go ahead, Angela.
I think Glenn's concern is we have a subdivision in town that's already named Carpenter Estates, and this is going to be Carpenter Ridge. And I think that's where that's coming from.
What's the consequence of the similarity of names? Kayla?
I'm going to say that's going to have a lot to do with fire response. Just simple mistakes like that. You see it all the time in other towns where, you know, like in York, it's York Long Sands and York Beach Road, but people end up going across town to the wrong division, and someone's having a heart attack on the other end of town. It delays care and so many other things. It just, it seems silly.
Mr. Chairman, we'd be happy to look at another name. Carpenter just happened to be the original landowner, and you'd like to try to associate something with that party. No, the name can be revisited and get back at our next submission with a different name. I agree with the potential conflict or emergency. You know, I live at Carpenter Ridge. Well, was it Carpenter Way, or, you know, so done deal for us.
Okay, so we're at a point where we, it sounds to me like we are prepared to take a motion, if someone would care to make one, that we consider the sketch plan complete and accept it. Do I hear a motion to that effect? Kayla?
Motion to accept and move forward.
Do I have a second?
I will second.
Anthony has seconded it. We are going to poll our board members for a vote. Kayla?
In favor.
Edward?
I am in favor.
Lori?
I am in favor.
Deborah?
In favor.
Okay, and I will record my vote as in favor. So we are squared away there. Would it be too much of a challenge to also schedule a public hearing and a preliminary review for our June 3rd meeting?
That's fine with the applicant, if you're asking me. Yes.
DJ?
Yeah, I mean, it's really in the applicant's hands if they feel they can get all of the information together and submit it. The only thing I need to do is get the applications and do my review, so that's easy.
Okay. Kayla? You're on mute. Mute.
There we go. If we're doing 2 preliminary hearings and 2 public hearings, or preliminary plans and public hearings on the same day, does that cause any issues or no? I haven't seen it, so I was just curious.
It would be my opinion that both of these are fairly low. They're not terribly contested. Mm-hmm. So the likelihood of a significant public hearing may not be terrific. If it becomes overwhelming, we can adjourn and postpone one of them if we have to. Any other comments from the board? Any objection to do? Go ahead, Lori.
So we'll schedule a public hearing. Are we going to require a site walk, or are we going to hold that decision until some other time?
I await the pleasure of the board. These are lots that already exist, that they're already.
I'm just asking the question.
No. That's just my thinking, and some members may not recall that. Anybody have any desire to have a site walk?
No.
Lori?
I would just as soon forego the site walk and not have one.
Okay. Kayla?
I'm okay with no site walk.
Edward?
Yeah, no site walk. I don't know what we'd be looking at.
Deborah?
I'm okay with no sidewalk.
There will be no site walk. We should be able to go ask for a public hearing and move ahead on both applications, one after the other in one meeting. We'll try to keep any other business to a minimum. Okay, Angela? Is there any other action that we have to take at this meeting? Any other comments? Do I hear a motion to adjourn? Kayla has made a motion to adjourn. Do I hear a second or see a second? Deborah, you are seconded the motion to adjourn. We'll do another roll call. On the motion to adjourn, Kayla, how do you vote?
In favor.
Okay, Edward.
End it. We're done.
Deborah voted. Oh, Deborah. How do you vote?
Well, I vote to adjourn.
Good. Lori,
In favor.
we are out of here. Thank you all very much.
David, were you gonna vote?
Oh, I'll vote, yes. I